All right. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Ravens flock, that was one of the greatest wins we've ever had at the bank, man. One of the craziest games we've ever played, man. It was intense. It was crazy. It was nothing but a game of emotions, man. So many twists and turns, so many ups and downs. I just didn't know how the game was gonna go. But somehow the Ravens managed to get the win. They managed to do the impossible and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, a team they've struggled with for years. They got the win, and that's all that mattered. And it came down to both the offense and defense making plays in key situations to help secure that victory. That is something we've struggled to do over the last couple of years, especially when we've gone up against some of the top teams in the AFC. So it's great to see this team come together and manage to pull together in a game they really felt they needed to win, and against a team they really felt they needed to beat, because they have not been able to beat this team in a long time. So for them to get that win, it meant everything. It meant everything to the coaching staff, the players, the fans, the city of Baltimore. It just meant so much to us. So for us to get the win was crazy. Love that game. But today, I feel that we got to focus on one player, because I know he's got to be happy with this victory. Our main man, Lamar Action Jackson. You see, in my opinion, after witnessing that game and seeing how Lamar was able to bounce back and what he did, I personally feel that last night's game against the Chiefs was Lamar's finest hour of his career. That was his best performance. Now, it wasn't his best statistical performance, not even close. We've seen Lamar put up way better games than this. I mean, if you're looking for his best statistical performance, you might want to look towards week 1 of his MVP season against the Dolphins, where he put up 5 touchdown passes, had more touchdown passes than incompletions, and had like a perfect passer rating, perfect quarterback rating. He completely dominated. That would probably be his best statistical performance. But when I'm talking about best performance, I'm talking about being able to show us who you are as a quarterback, as a leader, as a player. What are you made of? When you make mistakes and you're going up against the best and you're down, what can you do as the leader of your franchise to help them win? The lights were shining at their brightest. This is prime time against a team you haven't not been able to beat. You had to get this done. Can you? You made mistakes in this game. Can you get it done? This game was filled with multiple narratives that Lamar was able to crush. The first narrative was that Lamar Jackson could not be able to perform when he's put under pressure against the best team in the league and with the brightest light shining. Think about that. Do you know how many times they've talked about us? There have been some cases where, Lamar Jackson has started off the game bad. Of course, everyone's like, when Lamar Jackson's dominating and he's doing his thing and the team's not making mistakes, Lamar is having fun, everything's all great. But when we're trailing and when Lamar Jackson makes mistakes, a lot of the media and the fans, they were saying he tended to fold. He couldn't get the job done. He wasn't built to be able to respond to that. That was a narrative that's been following Lamar for a while. When everything goes his way, he'll win. However, when things aren't going his way and things aren't perfect, he can't respond as a quarterback. Well, that scenario was put to the test here last night, because he started off that game awful. 2 interceptions, 1 was a pick six. Now, the pick six wasn't his fault. Sammy Watkins did fall down on that play. However, the pick six happened. You're going to have to take responsibility for that. The second pick was absolutely disgusting. I mean, I don't know what Lamar saw on that one. I was watching it here, and on the live stream, I was like, bruh, is he smoking? Like, legit, on the live stream here, I was like, is he okay? Why would you throw that pass? You threw it into triple coverage. Even if, Matthew didn't jump the play, because Honey Badger read it, jumped the play, and got the pick. Even if he didn't make that play, that still wasn't going to get anywhere near your receiver. That might have got picked off by somebody else. That was a terrible decision. Easily the worst decision of Lamar Jackson's night. Like, I don't know what that was. It was terrible. But after the 2 picks, for him to respond the way he did, when people said he could not do that, that was a beautiful way to crush that narrative. After the 2 picks, he was 15 of 19, 215 passing yards, a passing touchdown, 87 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. That is MVP Lamar right there. To be able to pull that off after that start, it meant a lot. People said he was not able to respond. He wasn't a quarterback that could respond when the pressure was on him. But he did. He certainly did last night, and he crushed that narrative there. The second narrative that was put on him was that he couldn't come back from a double-digit deficit. Now, Lamar actually crushed that narrative in the playoff win last year against the Tennessee Titans, but a lot of people didn't really want to give him that much credit there. Your defense held up the Titans to 13 points. You know, it was mostly the defense. Lamar didn't do anything. They came up with excuses. Some gave us credit, but they came up with excuses. This time it was a bit different, man, because when you had that 10-point deficit, it was in the fourth quarter. Last night's game, we were down by 11 in the fourth quarter. For Lamar to do what he did and help us get the lead, man, that was everything. People said he couldn't do it, and he did it. He did it. I don't care what the circumstances was. He found a way to will his team to win, and he found a way to help us take that lead. Down 11 in the fourth quarter, he led 2 touchdown drives and got us the lead. That's something people said Lamar Jackson couldn't do, and he did it. And he did it by just being himself. He did it by being Lamar Jackson. So that meant everything, man. And of course, the third and last narrative I'm talking about here is Lamar Jackson cannot beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. That narrative has been following Lamar for the last several years. He had a chance in his first game, and had our defense not given up that 4th and 9, he would have got the win right there. But the last couple years, we've had opportunities, but we've come up short. That narrative of Lamar can't beat Mahomes and the Chiefs, that is what they've been throwing at this man over and over and over again. He said it one time, but the media went with it, and every time we talked about the Chiefs and compared them to the Ravens, they would bring out, well, Lamar Jackson already said that that's their kryptonite. And the fans use that. Lamar Jackson said that's their kryptonite. My Lord. They utilized that kryptonite statement through and through. And that was in full display in the first quarter of that game. So think about it. 3 narratives there. Lamar's not able to perform under pressure. Lamar can't come back from a double-digit deficit, especially in the fourth quarter. Lamar Jackson can't beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. All 3 of these narratives played a role in this game. Something Lamar has never been able to deal with before, right? That's what they've been saying. In fact, it was something Lamar has he's never even seen before. He's never had a situation where he's played bad, he's down by double digits, and he's going up against the Chiefs, except last year Monday Night's football game. But in that situation, it was the same old. Guys weren't making, catches. It wasn't that Lamar was playing bad, it just guys were making drops. This time, he was playing bad. When you look back at that Monday Night Football game and really go back and look at the film, it's not like Lamar Jackson played bad, it's just the receivers weren't making catches. It was like 7.5 minutes left to go in the third. And if Andrews would have made that catch, it would have been a 1-score game. What can you do there? But in this game, this was different. Lamar threw 2 picks. He was bad to start this game. So the pressure was already on. In his house, he threw 2 picks against the Kansas City defense. So he was already put under pressure. We were already down double digits going into the fourth. And of course, he's going up against the Chiefs, the team that is supposed to be the Ravens' kryptonite. All these narratives played a role in that game, and Lamar Jackson had to respond. Obviously, he was going to need help, and that's when the defense stepped up in the fourth quarter and did what they needed to do. By the way, shout out to Anthony Averett, because this man locked up Tyreek Hill. That's one thing I didn't talk about in my recap. Tyreek Hill was nowhere to be found in this game, and that's because Averett locked him up. Now, of course, for the most part, I'm not going to say the whole game, but for a good chunk of the game, they were double covering Tyreek Hill. So we know about that. However, there were some situations where it was man-to-man. And Averett had to keep up with Tyreek Hill, and he did. Matter of fact, there was one play where Mahomes did throw it to Tyreek Hill, and Anthony Averett broke up the pass. So credit to Averett. When he matched up against Tyreek Hill, he did a great job defending him. Wink Martindale said he was the 3rd best corner on the defense. He certainly played like it last night, so credit to him. And of course, I got to give credit to that offensive line because they did a great job protecting Lamar Jackson. And how ironic is this? The player that had the best grade from PFF was Alejandro Villanueva. The best PFF grade from PFF was Alejandro Villanueva. He had one of the worst scores we've seen. He goes from that last week to having the best overall grade. in this game. It was crazy. Well, of course, we moved him back to left tackle, which was his natural position. So obviously, he was going to do great there. But, considering the fact that's going to be Stanley's spot, it's probably going to take, Villanueva some time to get used to that right tackle spot. Though, I don't know how he played that poorly. I can understand struggling, but he shouldn't have played that poorly. But yeah, credit to the offensive line. Credit to Anthony Averett. I already talked about Owe making the 2 plays that forced the 2 turnovers, so that's great on him. But yeah, defense made plays, so we got to give them credit in this game. It's not like Lamar just went out there and won the game by himself. Defense had to make some plays in the fourth quarter, and they did. That's what helped give Lamar the opportunity to come back. So yeah, credit to the defense, credit to the offensive line for protecting Lamar at times. But yeah, Lamar, this was really about Lamar and what he did and how he responded. After the 2 picks, man, for him to respond like that and for him to destroy all 3 of these narratives, Lamar Jackson can't respond under the pressure. Eliminated. 15 of 19, 215 passing yards, a passing touchdown, 87 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Lamar doing it the way he does best, by being himself. He crushed that first narrative. Lamar can't come back from a double-digit deficit, especially in the fourth quarter. We were down by 11, we put 12 unanswered points, and we won the game. Second narrative crushed. And third, but not, the third and final narrative, and the most important narrative in this one, Lamar Jackson can't beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. He finally did it. He finally managed to beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. All 3 of those narratives were crushed in that game last night. So yeah, stat-wise, it wasn't the best game for Lamar Jackson. But for him to be in that situation, knowing we got 15 players on IR, for him to do what he did, despite having the rough start and having to face these narratives, for him to shatter all 3 of those narratives and prove everybody wrong, all the doubters wrong, and win this game, this has to be his finest hour. This has to be his best performance. So yeah, kudos to you, Lamar. Kudos to you. This man, he continues to destroy all the narratives we throw at him. He continues to destroy all the doubts the media and the fans throw at him, because he continues saying he can't do this, he can't do that, and he proves you wrong. They said he couldn't make it in the NFL. He did. They said he couldn't be an NFL starter. He should switch over to receiver. He proved them wrong and became a starting quarterback. They said he couldn't have success in the NFL. He took his team to the playoffs. They said he couldn't play at a high level. He won the NFL MVP. They said he couldn't do anything in the postseason. He won a playoff game. And now they said he can't come back from a double-digit deficit. He can't respond to pressure. He can't beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Now he's done it as well. Every time you've thrown a narrative at Lamar Jackson, he's found a way to destroy it. The only thing this man has not done at this point is win a Super Bowl. How many narratives are you guys going to continue to create for this guy? It's getting insane. It's like you're so angry, and your pride is holding you back because you don't want to admit you were wrong about this man. You continue to hold on to this pride, so you continue to add more narratives. It's insane. What is so difficult about admitting you're wrong and just appreciating the player for being a great player? What's so difficult about that? But yeah, Lamar, keep being you. Keep being you. Keep doing your thing, man, because last night, that was your finest hour. You're going to have to continue to do that, because there'll be times where you're not having your best game. We need you to respond the way you do best, by being you and helping this team win games. With that being said, that is all I got, man. Kudos to Lamar for getting the job done. Kudos to the Ravens for getting the job done. Kudos to the defense for stepping up in the fourth quarter. Kudos to the offensive line for protecting Lamar Jackson. Kudos to Hollywood Brown for showing up again. And Sammy Watkins for making some plays. And Mark Andrews making that smart play before halftime when we're trying to get into field goal range. Kudos to the coaching staff for actually doing their job. Kudos to Wink Martindale for, not blitzing Mahomes, sending a 4-man rush, trusting his guys, and seeing what happened with Owe, who is going to be something special for this team. Kudos to Greg Roman for actually sticking to the game plan and running the ball. Kudos to this team, man. Kudos to the team. They got the win. It wasn't easy, but it is us. But with that being said, that is all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.